Marcus Opelius Macrinus is a name that few outside of Roman history circles will be familiar with, but as Gladiator 2 continues to grow in popularity and mainstream attention, the name Macrinus is more popular now than it perhaps has ever been before. However, many may not be aware that this character portrayed in the movie Gladiator 2 by Denzel Washington is actually based off of a real historical figure known as Marcus Opelius Macrinus, but more commonly referred to as Emperor Macrinus. And although the rule of this emperor is often overshadowed by the more infamous emperors of Rome, Macrinus still holds a unique place in history as the first member of the equestrian class to ascend to the imperial throne. His brief reign from 217 to 218 AD was fraught with political instability, military dissatisfaction, and fierce opposition from loyalists of the Severan dynasty. And just like his dramatic rise to power, Macrinus' end would also be bloody, brutal, and short-lived, as he would find himself surrounded by enemies on all sides. But what led to the demise of this unlikely emperor? Who orchestrated his fall, and how was he ultimately killed? These are the questions we will unravel by delving into ancient Roman sources that shed light on Macrinus' final days. But before we begin, don't forget, if you want to find out more about the deaths of some of history's greatest figures, then subscribe to my channel, Historical Exit. Before we can start discussing how exactly Emperor Macrinus died, it is first necessary to have a very basic understanding of how he got to the elevated position of emperor in the first place, and just how intertwined Macrinus' rise to power was with his ultimate downfall and the end of his lineage. Macrinus was born into a wealthy equestrian family in the province of Caesarea, and his family would utilize their resources to get Macrinus trained as a lawyer, and he would eventually become so renowned and well respected in the legal field, he would end up working directly for Emperor Severus. After the passing of Emperor Severus, he would also gain the respect of his son, the infamous Emperor Caracalla, and he would eventually promote Macrinus to the rank of prefect of the Praetorian Guard, one of the highest and most prestigious positions in the empire. However, he would soon find himself falling out of Caracalla's good graces, as some slanderous reports about Macrinus would reach his ear, as well as a rumor of a prophecy that Macrinus would become emperor after the death of Caracalla. Knowing there's only a very limited time frame for him to act, Macrinus, along with another Roman legionary named Martellius, would formulate a plan to assassinate the emperor. And one day, when Caracalla was going to answer nature's call, he was set upon by Martialis, who would stab the emperor to death. Martialis would then be struck down and killed by the Praetorian Guard, and Macrinus would take advantage of this chaos and convince the legions under the command of Caracalla to crown him as the new emperor of Rome. However, the remaining family members of the Severan dynasty weren't going to take this insult lightly, and Caracalla's aunt, Julia Maesa, the sister of his mother, would promote her grandson Elagabalus as the rightful emperor of the Roman Empire, going so far as to state that her grandson was actually the illegitimate son of Caracalla and the true heir to the Severan dynasty. And using a mixture of bribes, increased wages, and a reinstatement of military policies created by Caracalla, Julia Maesa was able to win over many legions to support the cause of her grandson, and he would be crowned emperor in 218 AD. Civil war would soon follow though, and the forces of Macrinus and Elagabalus would clash in the Battle of Antioch, and the legions of Macrinus would be soundly defeated, forcing Macrinus to flee from the battlefield and attempt to escape to Cilicia. However, Macrinus would soon be recognized and captured near Rome in the city of Chalcedon, and he would be sent in chains back to Elagabalus. And it was here in the year 218 AD that Macrinus would meet his end, and Roman historian Cassius Dio vividly describes his execution as follows. Macrinus, disguised as a courier, fled, but he was recognized and captured near Chalcedon. He was brought back to Cappadocia, where he was executed. Cassius Dio, a contemporary of Macrinus, provides a simple outline of the events leading up to his death, including his capture at Chalcedon, where he was attempting to evade detection by pretending to be a courier, and lastly that he was executed at Cappadocia, but the manner of his execution is never expanded upon. Roman historian Herodian also provides a similar discourse in regards to the death of Macrinus, which further strengthens the validity of the claims made by Cassius Dio. Herodian states that Macrinus, realizing that his defeat was complete and that his troops had gone over to Elagabalus, fled from Antioch, discarding the imperial insignia and attempting to disguise himself as an ordinary citizen. But he was captured on the road to Cilicia and once identified was brought back in chains. He was executed shortly thereafter by order of the new emperor. So again, another contemporary source provides a nearly identical depiction of the events leading up to the death of Macrinus and his subsequent execution that would follow. Additionally, there are no other discourses present in ancient Roman sources or even in modern academia in regards to the death of Macrinus. Therefore, we can conclude with a high degree of certainty that Macrinus was executed in the city of Cappadocia on the orders of the new emperor Elagabalus, a relative of Caracalla, the emperor he had assassinated to gain ultimate power in the first place. So I really hope you found that video to be interesting and educational. And if you did enjoy it, please do like and share this video with others. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel Historical Exit to find out more about the deaths of some of history's greatest figures. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.